Hey everybody, I'm back with another video. You can see I'm on the bottom corner. I think I'm slightly bigger than last time. But yeah, I felt this is a good time now to make another video. Yeah, because I'm running out of credits again. But yeah, I got lucky. I think Cursor was running some promotion. So they gave me I gave everybody like 50% off on their Composer, I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, Composer 1.5. So I've been using that. For my last video, you saw my kind of planet defense game. It's kind of arcadey, incremental type game. I jumped onto another prototype. I think that game, I'll probably continue that game, but I think the scope was a little bigger than I wanted. So I went back to just thinking about more of an iOS game. So I started a new prototype. That was like 3 weeks back. Yeah, I think 3 weeks back. And since then, I prototyped 2 more games. And all three of my prototypes are on itch.io right now. I'll link it later. But yeah, just want to give a quick update here. So as I'm kind of waiting for my credits to refresh, I think I still have, I'm still going on the free credits still if I use auto. But I'm sure, I'll show you guys here that I'm gonna hit my limit pretty soon, right? It's at $172 for usage, and I'm on this $60 plan. I'm not sure why it gave me $10 maybe from when I went from the $20 to $60 plan. There's like a $10 going over. So resets February 26th. So I got till next week. Is that right? Yeah, next week before it resets. So yeah, I'm pretty close. So it's a good time to stop. Maybe mess around with another prototype. But yeah, just want to give you guys an update. Yeah, I got pretty far with my new game already. It took me about 5 hours or so, like maybe 8 hours to get the initial prototype, and I'll show you guys in a little bit near the end of the video, and I'll put bookmarks too, so you could jump to that if you don't want to hear the beginning. But yeah, just want to go over some stuff I learned. I didn't know you could just quick I didn't know you could right click a YouTube video and put it on repeat. So now I could have this copyright free track playing in the background all the time. Yeah, so that's some fun knowledge I never bothered checking before. So yeah, let's see what else. Yeah, cursor usage summary. See, yeah, I just showed you guys my cursor use summary, and and you might, if you're starting to use cursor, you might want to know how to turn it on. It's kind of disabled by default. Not sure why, but yeah, I think it's in cursor settings. You go to agents, you scroll all the way down. Let's see, where is it? Usage summary. Yeah, just set it to always on. It's probably never or something like that, or auto. I'm not sure why, but yeah, if you turn it always, then this little thing pops up down here, and then you can see how much you spent. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Close that. And yeah, and some other thing I didn't know about, which is Chrome MCP, which is like it'll basically run Chrome for you if you tell it to. Like I'm testing my game through a local host, and then if I find a visual bug, or it's hard to describe, I could just tell it to run the local host, and it'll actually pop up like a Chrome browser, and it'll try to click through the game or something like that, which is a pretty cool option. I didn't know it existed. So that's in what is that? In the settings, tools, MCP, and then yeah, browser right here, browser automation. Yeah, and MCP is pretty cool. Model Context Protocol. I think there's a lot of advancements in that, and it's gonna really help help AI use game editors. And I know there's already some MCPs for Unity, for Godot, and a bunch of other stuff too. And I think Roblox also has their own version. Those could really help people, make their games and stuff like that. So yeah, and then what else? Gemini rules. Yeah, so this one's pretty good. I use Gemini again, as I mentioned, to prototype stuff. Yeah, look, I was asking about how to loop a YouTube video. But yeah, if you I've been using Gemini a lot, and basically it starts to make edits or implement its own ideas basically. which could get kind of annoying. Like you just want it to follow your direction. Sometimes it's nice to hear, if they have good suggestions. I wish they would just mention it, but as an option, but not actually implement what they think your game needs, or whatever you're coding or vibe coding. But yeah, if you expand here, if you're using Gemini, go to the settings, and I believe it's under personal context, and you basically just your own Gemini instructions. Basically, you just tell it, stop coming up with ideas. Don't do anything, extra. And yeah, I'll paste this here. You can just copy and paste this into your own settings, and it'll make Gemini much efficient at doing what you're asking for. So I found, way much better than before, because it like completely changed my game ideas, and sometimes for good, sometimes like mostly terrible. So yeah, that's something good to keep track of. Yeah, there's that. Let's see what else. Gemini rules. Yeah, let's see the issue. Oh, the biggest thing. I was trying to set up Steam. Ran into a lot of issues with that, with Cursor AI. Basically with their Composer 1.5. Since it was free, 50%, not free, 50% off, I was using it to try to set up Steam and iOS as well. Ran into a bunch of issues on that. But eventually it fixed it. I spent about 8 hours or so just trying to work with prompting and making sure, using Gemini on the side to figure out what the issues were and how to set them up. Eventually solved that. Let's see. And I'll share the results with that on itch.io. I actually made a cursor rule now, just so if I ever need to set up Steam again on another project, then I won't run into this issue again. I won't have to re-explain like how to fix it. A lot of it I documented. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Let's see. Yeah, it actually happened in the NWJS. I don't even know what that is. I think it's just to use to run the game or make the build. And I'll show you kind of here. Here's kind of my my Confluence page here. I'm basically tracking a lot of things. Whenever I work with AI, I just have my Confluence open, and I'm just like copy and pasting into it just to keep information handy if I need to reference something, and I can ask questions. So first it was actually funny because like initially when it didn't work, I was just pasting I had to log the errors, and then I pasted back the errors to Cursor AI. It was using Composer, and then it was trying to fix the errors, and because I was trying to get Steam work to initialize, and it gave me a couple of errors that I used to identify logs to identify the errors, and it just kept looping back and forth trying to fix the issue. I think it lost track of how to what I was trying to do, or what I wanted it to do, which was to initialize Steam so I could test achievements, and it resulted looping back into just telling me to just not even use Steam, basically, just like a disabled, like when I run the exe, just disable it. So it was kind of like not going in the right direction. That took me like 4 hours or so. I stayed up till like 3 a.m. I kept trying to search for things online, like for the errors and how to resolve this, or try to get better prompts. But in the morning I ended up using Cloud AI, which is like on the cursor. It's basically Sonnet 4.6, and I basically just asked Sonnet or Cloud to make a plan, and then it eventually just like churned through it. They looked at the errors, and then it was able to set up a plan to properly fix the issue. And but just going through that whole process was very time consuming. Let's see. I even thought it was a DLL issue, like you need to have the Steam API in certain folders because it needs to check. That's how it knows, like what your app ID is. and eventually it came to the root cause of it, which was some type of crash with the Napi-rs right here. Yeah, and the workaround. It came up with the solution. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so basically I copy pasted here the issues and what the resolution was. Yeah, I don't even know what it basically crashed on this thing here, and it wouldn't, no matter which version of NWJS I try to use, which is also funny. Like Gemini told me to go back down a version, but that didn't work either. Like it was always the Napi-rs which was causing the crash. So yeah, so I guess let's see. It said it created a fake client, so maybe this is like a bridge type thing, or it talked to the Steam side, or I don't know, however it initializes it, or in order to bypass it, I guess, or something, and handle it a different way. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know the technical explanation of what it actually did, but maybe if you're a programmer, you can leave a comment, kind of the reason behind this, or if this is even the issue at all. But anyways, this is what worked, and I'll take it. Yeah, it was like a pretty long, overall total 8 hour. So just trying to prompt and trying to figure out what the issue was. But yeah, and then I ended up asking, like, how do we not repeat this problem, to carry it to my next project, or to just faster way to resolve and how to set up Steam. So this is kind of what it gave me. I'll paste the cursor rules, the markdown files on my itch.io. I'll do that after this video. Yeah, let's see here. And I'll go over my game in a little bit here. Just want to see what's on my list here. I want to go over all my topics. I feel like I'm doing a presentation at work or something. Yeah, so I eventually fixed the Steam issue. Yeah, here's my Steam page, since it's up here on the window. I'll show you guys. I'll run the game. You can see right now I just basically have 2 achievements here. They're basically unlocked. Yeah, I'll play the game right here. So this is like this is my build locally, and by having the app ID when I run the game, it like mimics like if it's actually on Steam or something like that. Yeah, it took me a while to understand all this, because I've never done anything never tried to get a game on Steam. Well, I did in the past, but failed miserably. But now I'm trying to using AI and getting a little further. So here we go. Just gonna play real quick, just to show you how. Let me go into the volume here and just down. So this is my new game that I prototyped 2 weeks ago. And just to show you again that currently I don't have any achievements here. And I'll show you the game here. Basically start the game. And the 2 achievements are basically just playing 1 round and also scoring 1,000 points. So I'm just going to do that real quick. So once I do that, you can't see it because it popped up on my other desktop monitor. But then let me drag it over here, and you kind of see it says I unlocked it. So yeah, it worked. I also have here's a log that started it all, which is basically telling me if I'm initialized with Steam and talking to their servers and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty exciting. Now I can move forward now. Still a lot of work to do on that end. Yeah, so now I'll actually show you guys the game. Kind of like before, what I talked about was my process, which is basically start prototyping on Gemini, right? And that's basically what I did. And then I could kind of show you here some files here, and I could run the game in comparison to after this. So you can see with grid shader. So I started the game pretty simple. Let me double click this. It's all in one HTML, and this is what it looked like initially. I wish I saved out more of the files, but initially when I'm just prototyping, it's not on GitHub, so I'm just saving HTML files as I go. So yeah, it's a pretty simple game. You just like in this version, you just basically just tap. Every time you tap, you turn left, and you can only turn left. and the goal is to circle these boxes. There's like a bug there. And then when you circle, yeah, it's hard to see, right? Like I did end up fixing that. So when you circle them, it clears them out, and you get points for that. Yeah, that's a pretty simple game, right? Yeah, but it took a lot of work to get to where I am now, and that was kind of the goal, just to make something simple, because I knew there's a ton of work, with UI and just everything else, with making all the systems and the upgrade system and all the modifiers, because I wanted to make it, slightly roguelike, where you have permanent upgrades and then you have like modifiers as you do the run, it stacks, and but yeah, I'm still trying to come up with more potential synergies and stuff with gameplay, or different modes. So yeah, I might put those as stretch goals, because I really just want to try to finish the game, learn about Steam works, how to get game on Steam, how to get game on iOS again, and just using cursor and using AI to help me to get there. So, and I tried, my other game would have had more art requirements, but this one is all just generated through 3D.js. Yeah, there's boxes and triangles, and even the particles are just simple triangle shapes. Yeah, so that's pretty much the prototype I did on Gemini. So it's one HTML file. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I could even open with Notepad. I go with cursor, and it's like how many lines of code. So yeah, it's only 600. It was pretty crazy. It's pretty low, I think, in my opinion, for this whole prototype right here. And then I start to prototype, the UI. I also use Gemini for that. I just asked for like a cyberpunk UI, and this turned out really cool. So I'm basically using that for the game. Yeah, I just took the CSS and just put it into the cursor and just told it to like use this, and it did. Let's see, and then I started to mess around with bosses, because I wanted to put a boss in the game. And here you can kind of see where the prototype's kind of gone a little further, actually. You can see it's slightly different with the grid now, and now there's like a boss. There's like a ring around the boss. Kind of force the player to destroy this box here by circling it. That's as far as I got with the boss before I moved it to cursor, because I think at that point, number of lines got much heavier. Let's see how many lines this is, just to double check. And actually not even that bad, but I think since it's all one HTML file, every time you ask for edits from Gemini, it takes a little bit to run through all the code. It has to rewrite every single line every time, or something, every prompt. So it starts to bog down, and I got the feeling they were kind of potentially throttling me. I don't know if that's true or not, but I ended up paying actually for Gemini Pro. It was pretty cheap, so, and I use it heavily, so to prototype a lot of my stuff before I put it in the game. Here's an example. Here I was trying to visualize some effects I wanted to do for the boss, so I put this in Gemini. And this is actually something. This is very similar to what I ended up using on the boss itself, and I'll show you guys in a little bit here. Yeah, so this is just asking Gemini to do a vert shader and then move the verts around. And then I also have the normal, like I debug lines that draw on the normal. I had it spike shoot out a little bit. That ended up not making it into the boss, but yeah, here. So there's that. Here's a video of the boss. Actually, no, this is an old video. I was trying out different ways to spawn the boss in. So this one was just like forming like a box. So I could eventually use this later, but yeah, there's that. I'll show the boss when I actually play the game. Actually, I do have a video of the boss. I could find it. There you go. Give me a second here. So here's the boss here. Let me turn the volume a little bit. It's an effect here. Yeah, so I basically just took what I got out of Gemini and kind of enhanced it more on cursor. There you go. Yeah, and then here's the particle field. I asked Gemini to create me effects, full screen effects, with some tuning, and I kind of I did that and I threw it into the game. But actually, this really killed the frame rate. But yeah, I could show you that too when I run the actual game. Man, this video is kind of running long. Let's see what is this. So yeah, this is just another copy of the HTML file. Gotta stop here. Let's see here. Okay, Steam achievements. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'll show you guys the game real quick. Yeah, I'll play it directly from Steam. Now we can see everything. Actually, I shouldn't, because I want to show some debug stuff. Let me open up cursor. Let me go back to cursor, and let me close this first. Yeah, let me just run. Man, there's all these like commands I put in. It's hard to remember what they even do. Luckily, it saves it. All right, let me just config. So here's the state of this version here is like a lot of my features that I wanted to put in is in the game now. There's no tuning on the progression. Still working on that. So that'll come soon. But I was more focused just on getting everything else in, like the upgrades. There's a ton of upgrades. It's all score based because this game is about risk reward on getting, racking up score. So a lot of the upgrades help you score more points, and then the points you convert to, when you get more points, it converts it to data, and data is what you use as a currency to to buy the upgrades. Yeah, let me turn the volume down a little bit more. Yeah, next step is to get more VFX. Yeah, so let's see. Let me just quickly run through this quick. Oh, I died. So since then, it's no longer just clicking to turn left. I now added WASD as well, arrow keys. So because I want to launch on Steam, I want to make sure the PC players be able to play it properly. It's more of a design choice initially too, to tap to turn left, just to make it easy on mobile. Yeah, you can try this game yourself now on HIO. Yeah. So there's no progression. So right now it's pretty easy. It's just like keep spawning the same box sizes, and you can just get near it and just score points off of them. And here's like an upgrade right here. So you can choose different type of upgrades. I'll just show you the boss too. So here. Oh, sorry, these are program hacks. these are the modifiers that stack. Yeah, so here you go. Let's just do data injection. So basically it gives minus 2.5% to upgrade cost. Yeah, there you go. So I'll select this. And you can see, you might not notice, but here you see how it's 24 data. It used to be 25 because now I have this hack. It temporarily decreases the value of all upgrade costs. And then there's a hack info panel now. You can kind of see, this is what I just selected, and you can see information. It gives you the values, and there's a cap at 30%. Yeah. And then I changed the boss meter. It used to be a timer, and now it's like a actual UI that kind of shows the circle moving towards the player. I'll see if I could get to that, get the boss to show up. Yeah, and then a lot of the game is tuned through the config file. I have a config.js up top here that just has all the little knobs I want to tune. So it's coming on pretty well, yeah. So here's the boss. And I added this crazy vert shader here that's probably killing battery life on the phone. There's the boss. It's pretty simple right now. I plan to add multiple phases to it, and it's going to randomly pick phases depending on like progression. So yeah, right now, so you defeat the I call these attack hazards. They release the sphere and they attack the boss. This explodes. Yeah, so that's pretty much. You just if I die here, there's a result screen. It just takes all the points and converts it into data. And then if I click it, goes, so now I got 54 data. It shows some stats here. I'll put more stats as well because I want to track a lot of stats. I'll put them on Steam. And then I can upgrade. So 54 data tells me now this pulses. So it tells me I have upgrades I could buy. Yeah, that's the hack info. This is the single hack I got. I could do upgrade here. I'll do a multiplier upgrade. So yeah. So these are permanent. So yeah. So upgrade you keep forever, and they give you bonuses as well. And then the hacks basically stack on top of these permanent upgrades. That's how the system works here. Yeah, a bunch of config here. You can adjust the volume. A lot of performance stuff that I added. So I added Unreal Bloom, which is just like a default thing that comes with 3JS that you get. So you can turn on the bloom. You kind of see in the background here how it's blooming out. Just now impossible to play, but yeah. And you can just turn it off too. So I give you that option. Actually, I like, yeah, this looks cool. It makes everything brighter, kind of more of the neon look to it. So you can also do half resolution for mobile. And then here's a particle field. I don't know if you guys see the floating particles, but you can increase it or decrease it. Kind of see, yeah. Looks cool. But of course, this really kills the frame rate. Oh no, it doesn't kill the frame rate, but like battery life on mobile devices. So pull this back down. I also had this curvature shader. I was just trying to make the game look more interesting because it's just kind of boxes and grids. So this curvature thing, you see how the background's kind of curving out now. So you could do, yeah. So now the whole world is more curved. It has a nice little subtle effect to it, which I like. But yeah, I ran into issues where see how the characters are, the hazards are floating. I tried to do a fix on that because it should just you could run the same shader on the boxes as well, but yeah, it just pretty much blew up my game. I decided just not to do it for now. Maybe I'll come back to it later. Yeah, there's also the wobble effect here. You see. Let's see what else. You can just turn it off too, so it's flat. Some display FPS. I capped this at 60 frames. This is for mobile devices. I was reading. It was just a suggestion from Gemini where potentially. On higher resolution devices, it was like the frame. This is running too much basically, so it wastes a lot of battery. So this kind of caps it out. You can also reduce the ground geometry. This is more for mobile devices, so it's less detail. Yeah, and then a bunch of debugs I've had down here. I give myself 5,000 credit, or fragments or data, whatever, and then I could do some upgrades. I'll show you this one I did, which is the most recent one, which is the proximity sensor. I'll just buy it. It's only one upgrade for it for now. Unlocks on-screen indicator showing where the upgrade hazards are located. So I'm gonna close it. Oops, I died. So when there's a upgrade hazard, it basically just points to where you're supposed to go. It's pretty handy. So I'll probably do some type of time attack or time trial thing where similar UI comes up and tells you like where you had to go to get to the next next checkpoint. So I might do that. So those will be like stretch goals. Let's see. Yeah, I think I can end it here. Yeah, sorry this this video took extra long, but yeah, if you watched through the whole thing, thank you. Put a like. I know Vi will, or Danny. So yeah. I'll do another update. Yeah, the game only took a couple hours to prototype, 5 hours or so, maybe under 8 hours. But the rest of the work here, just getting the polish, all the visual stuff and the UI and all the text and stuff, is just that's like the bulk of the work, I say. So yeah, I'm glad I kind of scoped down and did this project instead. So yeah, that was a good idea, just to make sure I finish and figure out how Steam works, how I'm gonna be able to build iOS. I don't even have a Mac, so I'm gonna have to use like GitHub to do some auto builds for me, and then that's what I'll be looking into soon. But it's still a lot of work. Yeah, I keep thinking I'll be able to wrap it up soon, but because I want to start on something else. But yeah, but it looks like just doing the Steam version because of the this is all like everything currently right now is all for mobile. So I need to convert a lot of the text over to just make it look more like a PC game, right? So there's a lot of work there to do. So tap to start, press spacebar or something. I need an actual menu. When you hit escape, it needs to do stuff, and I'm just trying to think of all the stuff that needs to be done. So yeah, it's a lot of work still. So yeah, that's it. You have any comments? Please leave a comment, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Almost hitting a 30-minute mark, so it's a good time to stop. All right, see you.